All right. So, Grand Rising family, it's been a while since I been in the Brown Girl Yoga group. And like I said, like what I explained earlier, we're gonna do a simple sitting up meditation. Okay, there's gonna be 7 different mudras that we use, along with a little bit of Tai Chi movement, but it's all sitting down. And over time, let's say within maybe some of you may feel it right away, some feel it more 5 to 10, 15 minutes down the line. And Joa, how long is this session? It's just what? This is, I guess we'll go for like 30 minutes. Okay. Um, so first thing I want you to do is I want you to sit up. If you're in a lotus position, that's fine. Make sure your spine is straight. 50% of what you call enlightenment and spiritual growth is posture. So, because that's the energy, allowing the energy to come up to the brain. That shows proper energy management as well. Okay. So sit at the edge of a seat, okay, or in a lotus position. If you sit in the seat, make sure your toes are pointed forward, okay, in line with the pelvic bone, not inward, not outward. Okay. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, okay, like right behind the teeth, right there. Okay. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, and all we're doing is nasal breathing. You're not trying to control the breath. You're being a witness to the breath, okay? And you're not trying to control thoughts either. You're not trying to suppress thoughts. What you're doing is you're inner witnessing, okay? So just watch, witness the breath, witness the thoughts. And then we're going to do 7 different hand mudras. And with these mudras, they allow you to sense the prana, the energy. Okay. So, first mudra we do is palms up. All right. And then you just rest them on the knees. All right. Second one is this mudra, like you hugging a tree, palms up this way. Third mudra, prayer position. Fourth one is tree pose. Fifth one, palms down facing the earth. Sixth, it's right palm up, left palm down, and then we switch. Then we'll do a bit of movements and all that. It's really simple. So, okay, let's get it started. So, spine straight, tongue to the roof of the mouth. You could close your eyes if you want to focus. Put the palms up, rest them on the knees, and just focus on the breath. Be a witness to the breath. Welcome all thoughts, no matter good or bad. Just don't attach to it. Focus on the breath. As we move through the practice, any tingling sensation in the palms, forehead, any part of the body, any sensation, you're feeling your chi channels open up, making contact with cosmic energy. Be still. Just let go of the breath. Allow it to run. Second mudra, palms up, you hugging a tree. Be still. Third mudra, prayer position. Bring the hands together. Fourth mudra, tree pose, palms up. Focus on the breath. Sense the energy. Allow the mind to run just a touch from the thoughts. Fifth mudra, palms down, facing the earth. Bring them right to the side. Make sure the palms like this, up, flat. Be still in this position for 2 minutes. Any tingling sensation in the palms, any heat, warmth, any sensation in the body. You feel the energy channels get strengthened. This is how you bring more light into the body. Bring the right palm up, left palm down. Be still. This is how you power up the nervous system. Switch, bring the left palm up, right palm down. Next, bring the hands together and make a ball. Make an energy ball in front Focus on the breath. Feel a magnetism. You can make it big, you can make it small. Move it around slow. You're swimming in an ocean of energy. Move the hands around, moving in stillness. Allow the energy to take you to that thoughtless place. Next, I want you to bring the hands together and inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Do this a few times. Sync the mind, body, and breath as one. Next, you could do it vertically. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. To make you conscious of the energy, of your energy body. Next, make a ball again in front of you. And I want you to make the ball and slowly transition into tree pose. Okay, so make it big, slowly transition back in tree pose. Be still. Bring the palms up like this, facing up. Resting back on your knees. Be still. Just want to roof and mouth. Second mudra, palms up, hugging the tree. Tap into the energy. Third mudra, prayer position. Fourth, tree pose, palms up, like you an antenna, picking up higher frequencies. Relax the shoulders. Fifth mudra, palms down, facing the earth. Feel the energy. Feel the connection. Next, from the right palm up. Switch. Left palm up, right palm down. And then we're going to alternate. You're going to bring the hands together like this, and then switch to the right. Bring the hands together, switch to the left. The same mudra, alternating, all while focusing on the breath. Move at your own pace. Bring the hands together in mudra position, prayer mudra. And I want you to choose the position that you felt the most sensation or any connection. Whether it was this, palms down, before we close out. For that, we want to show gratitude, be grateful for this moment, for this energy. This is the energy that makes us sovereign over matter, over bodily impulses. The body is powered by light, not food. Everything you do should be to strengthen your connection, to enhance your meditation. And for that, we say Amitofo, infinite light and wisdom to you. Okay. All right. So again, any sensations that are felt, whether you felt it in the hands or any part of the body, what takes place is when the mind and body go into rest, internal energy starts to become more activated. On another sense, it's never dormant. So it's another saying, like when they talk about Kundalini, or what the Chinese call Yang Qi, it's never dormant. It's never dormant. You're not alive without it. But for a daily meditator or cultivator, you start to become aware of the energy and awaken it beyond bodily impulses. All right. So when you start to feel that and sense it, what's taking place is internal healing. And when I say healing, I'm not meaning in a superficial sense. All right. We're talking about the energy channels in the body. There are 5 major energy channels. You have the front channel and the back and the front channel. You have the left and right channel, the Ida and Pingala. And then you have the central channel. All right. The central channel. These are the 5 major channels. However, there's thousands and thousands of channels in the body. Little tiny ones too. But in the mystery schools, in the ancient teachings, they always, technically, you see the Chinese will talk about the front and back channel. You see in India, they talk about the Ida and Pingala, the left and right. Those 5 major channels are the main ones that start to be opened up in daily meditation, daily cultivation. I also teach Shaolin Qigong. This was more of a empty mind Qigong. Okay. So over time, what's taking place is that what people don't get is that our channels became very restricted. And this is something that's been passed on from our ancestry due to the cataclysmic events, the wars, the addictions, slavery, lust, all these things that we call sins, or anything that we think of as detrimental to our sovereignty, our freedom. What takes place is our avatar, the channels become restricted and the energy is not flowing freely, meaning that the energy is trapped in the flesh. Okay, so over time, and this is a years and years of purification, as you start to meditate every day, and also what helps with opening the channels is the pranayama, is the Shaolin Qigong, it's whatever you choose to do. I do recommend, breath work does help to force open the channels, but breath work does not bring you to enlightenment, because meditation, what we call true meditation, is letting go of the breath. You're letting go of the body. When you let go, that's when the work, the deepest healing starts to take place. Okay. So again, it's more of a surrender process. Even any slight tingling you feel on your fingertips, as you do it every day, you will start to feel the energy immerse and do works on the whole body. So what people may not get is they think that they have to search for vitamins and minerals, and this is what sustains the body. Yes, it does. But however, as the channels begin to open up more and more, and you be sexually disciplined, well, woman, you have more of an advantage. You can reabsorb the fluids in sex. For men, we have to be held more accountable for sex, because we naturally lose. Even if we hold it in tantra, which is better, but if it's still too much, we still leak out. You see, but still a woman that you can't rise if you're immersed in lust. So either way, I mean, you may have an advantage in sex, but even with sexual cultivation, if it's in lust, it is, too much, it ain't gonna get you too far. So as you keep those fluids in the body, all right, when the channels open up, it can easily come back to the brain. So there's this marriage between the higher region and the lower region, right? Well, water, what does water do? Water drops like rain. And then vapor, with the Kundalini energy, what the energies do is it heats up that fluid, and the vapor will rise back to the brain. Okay. So when that's taking place, and you do that years and years and years, just opening your channels, purifying the body, over time, the body will start to get better at sustaining itself. You can eat less. You could go without less food without getting sick, But the reason now we're enslaved to bodily impulses, and that at some point in time, before the fall of consciousness, before we were conquered in some sense, we were more energy conscious than body conscious. We were in a consistent state of meditation. You wasn't as attached to your body like you are now. You weren't. As a matter of fact, yoga and meditation, and what these practices are actually meant to do, it's to free you from body consciousness. It isn't just to make the body healthy. It does, but it only makes the body healthy so you don't feel the body as much anymore, and you feel light. You see? So understand, you only cultivate in the body to basically let it go, because you have to cultivate the mind. It's hard to cultivate the mind when your body is unhealthy and restricted. In all essence, this ain't even about cultivating the body, really, but we just cultivate the body. And then in true meditation, you start to feel the energy sensations inside. All right. Now, people, when they start to feel a lot of the energy inside, they start to believe that they attain some Kundalini awakening. A little bit, but not really true, because it takes years of preparation before you even feel the true, what we call a true Kundalini. You haven't felt it. Even me, I only got glimpses of it. It takes time. Now, I can't speak for everyone, because some people inherited more chi than others, but you still got to put in conscious work. So any sensations in your meditation or breath work that you feel in the body, any heat, even discomfort, even visions, all the stuff you've seen, what's taking place is that your chi channels are opening up slowly and slowly. All right. So as it opens up, understand that those internal energies, it's just an internal healing taking place. It's like this. If I cut my wrist, eventually, right, what you will watch, you'll start to see it rejuvenate. You'll start to see it heal. Now, when you in the middle part of the healing, before the skin is really rejuvenated, there's a scab, right? You start to see the scab overlay, and that's when repair work is being done. But you cannot say that the scab is the skin per se, because the scab is a temporary construction. Those are temporary cells. And when it's not needed, you notice it just drops off. It's the same for daily meditation. And these internal energies people feeling is not Kundalini. It's more of what they call a superficial Kundalini, or for lack of better words, it's the unpurified energy working to purify itself. So when it goes to repair major organs, open up certain channels, you may feel most of the energy at the weakest part of your body. All right. Like one time I felt a lot of energy here in my heart area, but I was born with a hole in my heart that had to close up eventually. So there's still some repair being done there. But someone that don't know the path will think, oh, my heart chakra is opening. It's just a repair. And just like how you have that scab, we have metaphysical scabs. We have certain things that we need to sit in stillness and purify long enough. And over time, the internal energies will start to repair parts of the body, awaken dormant DNA. But its goal is so that the energy can actually not be trapped in the flesh. So even when you do this and you start to feel that flow, you're also raising your magneticism. All right. So true meditation there are bodily sensations that arise, but over time, as the body gets healthier, you realize you have to cultivate. It's all about cultivating the mind, getting past, and then you will feel that, certain emotional triggers as the years go by. There's a good book that I recommend called Meditation Case Studies. All right. I can say it again, Meditation Case Studies, where it talked about people, the side effects that people had after years and years of prolonged yoga and meditation specifically. All of the things they felt, the things they went through, hearing voices in their head, all these things. And people get so caught up in the sensations thinking they've attained something, when all it is just the body's going through a rejuvenation process in order to free the mind so you could cultivate the mind and play with creation more. So again, when you eat a lighter diet, when you detox, it isn't about the fruits themselves. It isn't about what you're eating in and of itself. It's the discipline to harness more light. You're being sexually disciplined, eating a certain way, living a certain way, to harness more of that light so it could transform you. But if you get caught up only in the food, only in this certain thing, you would miss the point as to the fact that the body is mainly powered by light. You see? So, and every second of your life, there's this inner transformation working to take place, but our minds get in the way. So again, if anyone want to chime in and say, if you felt any sensation in the fingertips, any part of the body, you could chime in and say. I just wanted to explain what was going on. When you let the mind just be, the body does its real work. That's why the body ain't creating its own minerals like that, because of the mind, and the channels restricted. The energy ain't coming back to the brain, so the brain ain't being fed. So if the brain ain't being fed internally, we then use herbs, we use fruits, even the animal kingdom. You will then go search for it in a secondary sense, because the body still needs some type of enzymes and minerals and vitamins and all that to feed the brain and to help with repairing certain organs that's deteriorating. You see, so again, this is a way, it is a known pathway given by the human masters, the sages, on how to free you from body consciousness. And just to say, there are yogis that started to develop subtle bodies. There are other bodies that are a replica, that are a replica of your physical body, like your astral body, right? It's actually, it has organs and shit. It's a replica. It's just a less dense version of your physical body. But you got to understand the astral body that a yogi has, that cultivated his energy for 12, 15, 20 years, that was sexually disciplined, especially if he held it all in. His astral body is much stronger than ours. And they could just leave the body at will. But that's not the only body. You also have other bodies that grow off of that. So they don't call, when you cultivate that independent spirit body, that's the first ripe fruit of enlightenment. There's 4 other attainments of other bodies. So what a lot of people may not know is even in esoteric Buddhism, they talk about body attainments, not only mind attainments. It's both together in one. And if you read the autobiography of a yogi, you will see where they talk about yogis that had multiple bodies. Even one of my teachers had multiple bodies. And you could see when they are there, it's not like they're not fully there, because they're navigating using their other bodies, doing good work, actually. There's even classes conducted in those other realms of people that developed the first body, but they still trying to learn enlightenment. That don't mean you enlightened. You got people that have superpowers on earth, that are these amazing powers on earth, but they still got to cultivate more than mind, because you do not find it in the body per se, you see. But there are body attainments that high level cultivators and meditators did achieve, you see. So I see, what is the name of the author? So it's Meditation Case Studies. The name of the author is William Baudry. Let me type that in.
Perfect. I just put it, I put in the chat, and then someone sent a picture of the book in the chat.
Oh, okay, good. They should be good then. Yeah, I recommend that because it will prepare you. Because some weird shit happens, man. People don't quite know that you making physical, when you just be, the body goes into doing its real work intended by nature. Because at the end of the day, when you know your true nature in your stillness, matter serves you. It starts to serve you. It doesn't become your slave. But when you're addicted to overstimulation, depleting your energy, channels restricted, then that's when you become more of a slave to nature. But if this is an active thing, it's not just, well, let me just meditate and stay quiet and concentrate. It's serious changes take place. So I do recommend that book again, because it does talk about things that take place that no other book I've found really in that light, in that sense. Yes, there are other books, but when you read the Vedas or these books, it seems more mystical. This book is straight to the point, down to earth, and will tell you really rare cultivation knowledge, and it will prepare you when your chi channels start to open up. So if you hear any sounds in your head, any voices, you start seeing like images and stuff like that, no matter how intense the vision is, You could take it and receive the message, but let that shit go. Don't let that shit like run your life. It's just like with young Pharaoh. If y'all been watching young Pharaoh, he went on an interview and he said he was abducted by aliens and they was rewiring his brain. Now, I'm not getting to the point where it's true or not, but you could see where he's going wrong is he's taking that as some type of elitism to a sense where he's like a chosen one. And it's the same thing with people. And again, young Pharaoh's researched a lot into aliens. Think about also someone, and he'd been taking shrooms too, but think also about someone that's a Christian. When they are meditator, Jesus comes to them. You know, what people may not get is that there are spirits that come and assist you in the process. It's real. They assist everyone. But when you cultivate every day, they assist cultivators more than the average person because of the dedication. It's very hard to become enlightened. So there are spirits that come and help to open up your energy channels. But here's the kickback. It's a 12-year process usually, or longer, depending on how we relapse. While they help you to open your channels, they're also testing out their visualization, or they're testing out their powers using your brain and your subconscious memory. So what takes place is you may start to see a bunch of flashes of different visions and memories and shit, you know, and weird, strange, like creatures. And you're like, I'm not doing this. Where this coming from? It's because as they help you, there's levels in the spirit, in the just like here, there's a hierarchy, spirit realm. You got higher masters that are teaching the lower levels, right? So just, you know, you're like a project. So now when they come and help to open your channels, what's taking place? You see, as they open your channels, sometimes they have a bit of fun. They like to mess around and play with your mind. And I'm only saying this, whether you want to believe it or not. If it happens to you years down the line, don't pay it no mind. It becomes a distraction, and just keep meditating, keep getting healthy, keep knowing your purpose, your vision, and know, no matter how strange it is, that you're being helped. You're being assisted in the process. And that's what that book also talks about too, in the case studies. And it has been my personal experience too, you know, not trying to, you know what I mean, tell y'all what to believe or what's going to happen to y'all, but I only can speak from my personal experience and to prepare. So I, you know, even when I talk to young brothers, I kind of help them and prepare them in a sense, because when those chi channels start opening up, it's a different life, you know. So just my 10, just my 5 cents. That's all I say. Yeah. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock.
Man, thank you so much. This has been like a wealth of knowledge. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask before we go? Or any comments they might want to make?
All right.
I only got a little bit of the end. Are y'all going to record this one as well? Or it is recorded. Are y'all going to post this one as well?
Okay. Oh, you didn't catch it. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you know, it starts off very subtle at first. And then over time, as you meditate, it becomes more and more apparent in your life. The light starts to help you. You see, so definitely.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this. I've actually been on the meditation path since 2011, and I did the celibacy track for about 2 to 3 years. I didn't have much data that you presented until later, but I decided to start withholding the sexual energy, um, because I found that it was a more peaceful path for me. And with have you heard of that book? I can't think of it right now. Uh, I can't think of it, but the one of the chapters was about sexual transmutation, and it was about having your creativity, being able to withhold your sexual energy to be able to create and manifest things and have peace in your life. I it was one of those books about Think and Grow Rich. That's what it was.
Mhm.
Have you read that book before?
Yeah, I
Or
read
heard
that
it?
book.
Yeah. And so that chapter stuck out to me, and I was just like, wow. So when I got into Buddhism and I was attending a Buddhist church here in Virginia, in Burke, Virginia, it was Japanese Buddhism. And I was practicing that for several years and going to a lot of different meditation practices. I found that being on that path, it was more structured, it was a little bit rigid. And I was just doing it because I wanted to have some kind of control over my life. But there was some things that you said, and I actually gravitated to the distractions like, oh, wow, look at that. Look at that visualization. Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? And it sent me in this whirlwind. And then I just stopped paying attention to them and just sitting with them and letting them float. Because when I attended the Vipassana retreat, they were teaching us not to become attached to the visions and just allow them to float, because otherwise we're getting caught up in a storyline, and then we could lose our focus and our concentration, and just focus on the breath and just stay in that space.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you put in some good work, definitely. And because people get so caught up because they, it's in a sense you want to feel special, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
you want to feel a special attainment, which I'm not saying it isn't right to feel somewhat special, but I mean not to where it's to the point where you're like this chosen one and you came here to do this and that. You do good in the world, that's a part of it. The first step to spirituality is virtual virtue accumulation, merit, you know but that's where most people stuck here on the planet, because a lot of people religious and they just stay stuck on the virtue aspect of it, you know when the second part, when you get to like the higher levels, you're supposed to meditate, supposed to cultivate and retaining the sexual energy at the same time. Not saying you have to be this perfect perfect like celibate person, but
Right.
again, there still are, again, forced celibacy is toxic. It's just what you're doing is celibacy doesn't really have much spiritual benefits if you don't meditate. You will have some body benefits, but if you don't
Right.
meditate and you attach and cling to things, it don't matter what practice you use. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, no matter, like, I've met brothers and sisters where they do these practices, but if you still have constantly wandering thoughts and triggers and all that, you can't manage that, or, then you're gonna have to probably either choose another practice or you practicing improperly.
Right. Right. You mentioned something about, so now I'm, doing exercise and so forth, but you mentioned something, I should have wrote it down, but you mentioned something about not being of the body, but within the body and energy. Can you um expound upon that? Um I
Yes,
can't I
so
can't I can't
most,
remember, but do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
I have an idea. When you look at the cultivation schools, right? You have one end that focuses on the mind only,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like just mind cultivation, zen, emptiness, which is the foundation. That's actually most of it. But all of it, mainly 80% of the shit is just empty meditation. It ain't even no fancy like breath work or anything like that. That's 80%. But that's the boring shit that people don't want to do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they like
Mm-hmm.
the sophisticated stuff. Now, you can get to what you call enlightenment from mind only cultivation, but it will take longer, much longer. Or you could cultivate the body and open those channels up quicker with certain tantric practices. All right. I'm not saying sexual. I'm just saying like tantra, like breath work practices. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have one end where the Taoists, not that, let's say some of the books where they talk about achieving physical immortality. So then you have people that caught up in the body only, well, I'm just going to cultivate the body, but they don't really cultivate the mental emptiness.
Mm.
And you have some people that just meditate, but they don't take care. They don't know the connection with body mind. You see?
Right.
So the quicker way to get there is to cultivate the body's chi and to cultivate the mind. So that's why even in my course, I teach the stretches. You do these stretch meridians a certain way. Then I teach Shaolin Qigong. Shaolin Qigong is a special breathing technique I learned from my Shifu that was taught in the Shaolin Temple. And it's a reverse breathing technique, and you do over 30 Qigong postures. It's different from other Qigongs. All right. They don't even like the other sides of Qigong because it doesn't resemble the original Qigong when it authentically formed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this Qigong is a reverse breathing technique. And what it does is you're breathing in deep, but you're also doing these movements. All right. And again, reverse breathing is when you breathe in and you suck the belly in. And when you exhale, you push the belly out. It's different from normal abdominal breathing and it requires practice. But what that Shaolin Qigong, it really helps to cultivate the body's chi, and it almost forces open the energy channels. It opens it like, because you're inflating the chest, and especially with the twisting of the spine and the horse stances and the stretches and all the different things we do, when you sync the breath of the movement, you're actually accelerating the process for the body's transformation. So that you can sit in meditation longer.
Mm.
You see?
Okay.
Or you don't have to do that. You could just sit in empty meditation.
I hate to interrupt you, but could that be the same with yoga as well? Because I've heard that explanation in yoga.
It's the same. It's Shaolin Qigong. It's just the one I do. It's the same for pranayama. Pranayama is when they do like the hold on the exhale in pranayama. That's just a forceful way, right? It's powerful. But ideally, when you get good at meditating, the breath naturally starts to slow down and you're not really breathing like that. The best way is to get to it naturally. So breath work is just a technology to open up the energy channels for empty meditation. But if you're only doing it and you ain't cultivating empty meditation, then you fragmented. You ain't really cultivating. You just caught up in the body. You see, that's why you see some schools don't even bring up the body as much, because they don't want the student to get distracted. But I see where it's, if you use everything together, the asanas, even the yoga asanas, all right, that came from, again, me. I spontaneously do stretches, because when you start feeling that the channels open up and you feel a blockage, you stretch naturally. All those yoga asanas was just cultivators after time of building on their energy and opening their channels and meditating, they would naturally do these stretches because that's the only thing that would fucking relieve them, because it's, you know, it's uncomfortable at times when you feel all this energy flowing through you. You
Mm.
see?
And so that's the lightness that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and it's gradual, it's slow, you know, over time, you know, and then you start to see how food hurts you. Too much food, you know. So I'm eating light now, not because I have some discipline or I ain't even all that discipline. It's just too fucking uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is. So now, like for the past 4 days, I only ate like a few pears, you know, because it's like, because I've been feeling these surges and I'm like, damn, like when I eat cooked stuff, it just feels blocked, you know,
Right.
and then I can't sleep. Then I have this uncomfortable pain. And again, that's only because I'm in a transitional phase, not because I had some attainment. I'm just healing.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel the healing. You feel, and you only could truly open up the central channel. Okay, we're not talking about the front and back channel or the left and right. The central channel can only be opened up in empty meditation.
Okay.
You're not going to force that open. And that's the one that really, you know, brings the energy up to the brain. You know, don't get me wrong, you got the back channel too that does that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the central channel is the hardest one to open up, you see, because the people that have these pains in Kundalini, what they think is Kundalini, and again, it's not the true Kundalini. You know, that takes years of preparation before you feel that. What's
Mm-hmm.
taking place again is when it awakens, the Chinese call it the yin qi, the unpurified. Okay, so when you awaken that energy, it's unpurified and there's restrictions. So just like how when you heal the body healing a scab, you just healing a bunch of internal scabs and restrictions and shit. And because people feel these sensations in the body, they think they attain in some spiritual attainment when that's like you thinking you have a spiritual attainment because you watching your scab get healed. Don't get me wrong, that's good progress, because in that meditation you allow for a deeper healing, and the body wants to open up its channels and to serve you. Actually, the earth wants to serve you. Everything around you wants to serve you. But you got to first know the way we incarnated, the trauma we experienced, all the things we went through, we kind of like deformed a bit. Frankenstein to some extent, where we have to allow the body, when you let the mind be and allow the body to do its work, it's already trying to free you. It's just with the pranayama, the qigong, the breath alchemy, the masters was like, shit, they having a hard time meditating. We can have to help them with something. So they gave us breath work. So breath work then, again, is just a technology. You got masters that when you don't understand the yogis and yoginis, ain't no man or woman thing. When they've been cultivating that sexual energy, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, however long, they had so much prana to where they didn't even need the breath like that. And then they had that subtle body. So they could die at will and leave the body at will. That's what yoga, breath work, and meditation is meant to do. So where you ain't trapped in light code lockdown, trapped in the flesh, serving the flesh, where this place becomes like hell. It's not just only, okay, it's the body, let's make it healthy so we could live forever. No, there's other body attainments. And at the same time, you could have fun with your creation. Originally, these meant to, you know, this was supposed to be a fun place, but everything changes. And I think, you know, anything is allowed to happen. I don't think we would have really grew that much if we just lived on air. So obviously we have to experiment with a lot of other shit. But the whole purpose of this conversation is to remind you that no matter, like that saying in the Bible, you know, the son that left home and sinned, and you know, he eventually came back home to his father. It's the same with you. You could come right back home. You never really went anywhere, but the mind took you somewhere, and it took the body somewhere, and the body serves the mind. You see, so now the body, instead of it being like this vehicle you use for expression, now it's like this, you know, when you buy a dog and the dog ain't trained, and he just annoying as fuck, he just peeing everywhere, and you just can't, that's how the body is now. It's like the flesh is it's annoying now. So religions give the flesh a bad rap. They say, oh, the flesh will damn you. But no, not really. The flesh is spiritual. It could be. But freedom, I don't know. This level of freedom, it takes work. Freedom to me is more of a living responsibility than a birthright. It takes some effort and work, you know, even to just sit and be still and not react to shit. Don't they push you to react to everything? Black Lives Matter. Oh, I'm gonna make you do the vaccine. Or if you, you know, again, if you're in a relationship, or you know, anything, your job, every day you're being tested to react emotionally. Every day. But the more you become conscious of this energy, the more you see that ain't really nothing serious going on down here. Not much. Go out downtown and just sit and watch people drive. What are they really doing? This one dude driving to go get ice cream. She going to do this. And you know, even if he in a Rolls Royce, right? He going up in some penthouse to go eat what? Do what? People don't realize they're not doing anything. You know there's nothing to do. Nothing to accomplish. Because you birthed this world. That's the big joke. You the power. That power in the earth. And even the people you don't like, you're the energy powering them. That experience. So just ponder on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Mic
So-
drop, man.
yeah, that's it. You know, so definitely, you know, hopefully, you know, I get to come Costa Rica. You know, I know they're making the vaccine mandatory, so we can wait it out. But let's see how we can start traveling privately. You know, instead of using their commercial flights and stuff like that, maybe you know, private airports, you know, private, so you don't have to
You can
go
figure
through all.
something else out.
Yeah, there's ways around it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they don't have to. Number one, no U.S. corporation should be in any of our fucking business to begin with. You know, like they
Facts.
too in our business. Because why? Because they broke. Because they fucking broke. They never had money. All they did was use us with our birth certificates and bonds, and use us like they have any government don't have no damn money. We the ones that power this shit. So, you know, again, just want to say I enjoyed you know, just being able to share this with you. Hopefully you it shed some light in some things, you know. Anyone, you know, if you're interested in my course, which is very extensive and it's very difficult to find that type of cultivation knowledge in this sense, you know, because we don't only talk about mind only attainment. We talk about the bodies, we talk about the heavenly chi body that only few human beings ever really got, but it does exist. All right, you got a few masters that attain to that. But other than that, I gotta head out. you know, gotta hop on another call, not a meditation, something different, but you know, anyway,
Where can your information be found?
you can find me on Instagram. I have a YouTube, but most of my stuff is on Instagram, and I'll type it.
Under your name?
It's
I'll screenshot it to the chat too, Mark.
all right. I did that right. Okay. Yeah, and just let me know. And I just typed in my Instagram name. Hey, morning.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. All right, man. Y'all have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
You know.
Thank you.